Making his Roskilde debut, we're joined here in the Red Bull TV studio with Mac DeMarco.
That's right.
How are you, sir?
Good, little sleepy, but no problem with that.
No problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Being on the road must be kind of a wild experience for you. I know you're in quite a bit of a stretch of live dates that take you far away from home. How do you prepare for something like that, just to be on the road and away for so long?
I don't know. We've been on tour for the better part of like 4 years, so it's more like I have to get used to being at home again. So I feel right at home.
So at home is the road,
That's
and then when you go home, it's like, well, what do I do here in a safe space?
I forgot what I used to spend my time on, but
okay.
I feel great. I like being out here, meeting these people, cameras, fancy technology, festival.
I mean, we have about 80,000 people here just for you today. So
I don't know about that, but I mean,
Well, we'll give it 70,000. Give or take a few. Roskilde is quite an interesting experience. It's almost like any other festival that I've ever witnessed. What did you know of it before you got on site here? Did you know any of the history of it, or anyone who's played here before?
Not really. The one thing is, I think I used to mispronounce the name. I think a lot of my friends and I thought it was Roskilde Festival. So.
It's so funny you said that, and I kid you not, I just got an email from a friend. They're like, we're watching you on the Roskilde stream right now, but everyone over in the States is pronouncing it Rockslide. Like, it literally came in just 2 minutes ago. So
I've heard
it's a common misconception.
It's like, what is it, the biggest festival in Europe or something?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest, and non-for-profit, tons of volunteers, but you're volunteering, give or take a few pennies perhaps, or coronas, volunteering your time here for everyone to kind of enjoy your music here.
Yeah.
You're now into multiple albums that we've heard from you, and there's been a bit of a shift in the lyrics. I read somewhere that before you were kind of not making nonsensical lyrics, but things that maybe didn't mean as much to you, and then moving forward in your more mature albums, we'll say, you're writing songs with lyrics that say something and speak something from your heart and soul. What signified that shift for you?
I don't know. I mean, it was mainly, I did this EP to start off when I started using my own name, and it was all just writing about like rock cliches, leather boots and motorcycles and stuff like that. Sure. And it's just having a bit of fun. But, when you write a real song, sometimes, especially being at home for a while, and you kind of get a little loopy, and you're like, you start thinking about things that have happened to you in your life and about your friends and your family. And then you write these songs, and it turns out that they're kind of, maybe, I don't want to say personal, but, it has to do with the life you live in, because that's the one that you're living after all.
Sure.
So it just kind of happens accidentally. And then it's a funny thing, it's kind of like, at home, I do everything alone, so it's a bit of a diary-style thing, very meditative. And then the record label goes, and now we're going to show this to everybody.
Yeah, everyone, but rare, raw.
And that's when it hits you, and it's kind of like, oh, this could be a lot weirder than I thought it was going to be when I was making it, but it works out.
I mean, does that give you any sense of vulnerability then? You're putting these out there, and then it's like, well, now someone wants to put this out in mass form and have the world hear it, and you're like, but this is my secret diary, basically.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing, too, is you keep in mind, I mean, at least I do, in a little way. It's like, I want people to hear this. I want people to enjoy this, hopefully. If nobody listens to it, I still had fun making it, but, it's a balance. It's all about balance. Being on tour, being off a tour, doing this, doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's kind of, one of the themes, or kind of the motto of Roskilde is the orange feeling. And I feel like the is kind of the orange feeling that everybody gets here when they're on site. So a lot of people really, really love your music, but more specifically, a lot of other artists have been championing you, whether it's Tyler, the Creator, and my buddy Shamir has talked at length about how much he adores you. Does that ever give you any sort of inspiration to kind of, move forward and change your sound in a direction that you think an artist would like to hear, or to collaborate with them? Or do you just keep on powering ahead and doing what you do, knowing that people love what you're doing?
I think about, it's nice. The nice thing about having people do that is then you make a new friend. It's kind of like, hey, I know we can be friends because you already said something nice,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not a big collaborator guy. I feel like a lot of the time, especially when you get a little momentum, and these people are like, we're gonna put you on a play date with this person over here. You're gonna make a great album.
You're gonna love each other, and then it's like,
weird.
Oh, wow.
If it's not natural, then I don't really feel comfortable. So yeah, but I mean, I'm open to anything, and I mean, meeting people, new bands, especially. I'm not very good at keeping up with contemporary music, but I see a lot of bands at festivals like this, and say Shamir, I've seen him play a couple times now, and hang out a lot, and it's like, it is kind of my window to, new sounds or whatever. And then I guess, just through osmosis, perhaps my sound does change a bit, but it's hard to say. We'll see what happens with the next record. I don't know.
All right. Oh, foreshadowing information from Mac DeMarco.
Hey,
you've also stepped behind the camera a bit as well, too, directing videos for yourself. What's that dynamic like? Because now it's like, this is my music, and I've put it out, I've arranged it, written, and recorded it, but now I'm going to show you a different side of it from your own perspective. What's it like to direct?
I don't know. I wouldn't call it directing. I would call it maybe like a day with maybe a six-pack involved and maybe a couple friends and turn the camera on, walk around the neighborhood, something like that. It's I like music videos, but I think that it's the same with the music thing, where if it's the big fancy video makes me feel a little uncomfortable, so I'd rather keep it real instead. And you're homegrown,
Yeah.
I'm not prepared to spend a bunch of money on a video either. I gotta buy groceries and stuff. So
I know that you grabbed a bunch of your friends for your band, and you kind of just brought them along with you and said, "Well, now you're part of my band." How has that been working with people who are close to you on the road? Are there ever any tensions or anything that kind of bubbles up where you could either be a bit freer or maybe not so free with what you say to someone?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think any doesn't matter what kind of humans they are, but if you put them in a van for that long, there will be tensions, But the thing is, though, regardless of those, I think that I would rather feel tension between people that I already know and love rather than like having a hired gun screaming at me or something. Like, I think that would be awful.
That would be terrifying.
So I mean, it's nice too, to have comfortability and doing it in a way that makes me and my bandmates and everybody comfortable. It's very important to me, and I think that we're all able to not have another job now, so nobody's really complaining, and it's great. It's not bad.
Well, I think that one way in which you, maybe on your own, have made people comfortable, whether they're your bandmates or fans or whatever, and this goes beyond the lines. There's like a line, and we're going to cross it just a little bit here. But I'm told, and I've seen and heard, that you love flatulence, if I can put it so politely.
Sure.
So what is it like on the bus? I mean, I'm sure that there's sights and smells and all sorts of fun-sounding activities that take place in that regard.
It's really gross. Yeah, it's really gross. I'm the kind of guy, I used to have this Volvo station wagon where it had the child lock, so no one was able to control their windows unless... So we've had a long...
It's a different kind of hot boxing the car.
Yeah. It's a bit of a Dutch automobile. If that's a Dutch oven. Does that make sense?
It sure does.
We were talking about it the other day. We were thinking, I had this, maybe it's a patent that I'll try and get when we get back to the States, but Dutch oven pants, where you can save your farts in your pants.
Are you serious?
I don't know. I would need to get maybe somebody for the technology, but the concept... I mean, I guess I just gave it away, so maybe someone else will take it now.
I think this is the new Mac DeMarco tour merch item. You can just sell Dutch oven pants.
Dutch oven pants.
Yeah, and I feel like it would go over famously.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm a freak with that kind of stuff. I don't know how other people feel about it. Everybody likes the smell of their own brew, though. That's kind of the consensus, right? So.
Yeah. Well, you're brewing up something good here on site at Roskilde. Good luck today playing, and man, thank you so much. Mac DeMarco here on Rebel TV.